gals, and non-binary pals. It's Master Minor Time here with another video just for you. Today we're not doing any gaming. I just wanted to sit down and talk with you guys for once. You know, a little face-to-face convo. Tell you a little bit about me, and then you can tell me a little bit about you in the comments. Well, I don't know really what there is to tell about me. As you guys know, if you've been paying attention at all into the description down below into all my videos, I wrote a book, and in that book, I basically made the entire book one big controversy, and like even the cover, it's the cover of a children's book, but the book is not for children. It's the ultimate don't judge a book by its cover. That's what I did. I did it on purpose. And, well, I'm currently, at the time of recording this, I'm 21. And I find it really hard to look at the camera because I'm also looking at myself. And I also don't want to look at myself because I don't like how I look. Yeah, I got like a big pimple right here and all over my face, and it's just no matter how much I shower, I can't get rid of them. But I'm pretty sure they'll go away on its own eventually. I think it's just induced by a bunch of stress, because I'm stressing out about finding a job that I can actually get to, that my father will approve of, and such like that. Because money's kind of tight here, and I could use some kicking in to the bills and whatnot to do. And I want to have money in time for Christmas to get presents for my siblings. I'm all about giving to people. Like, I like giving almost more than I like receiving. Yeah. I don't know how many people are like that in the world, but like, I like seeing someone else's reaction to getting a gift from me more than I almost like getting a gift. Sounds crazy, but it's true. And another weird, random, interesting fact about me, I was born with hydrocephalus. I don't know if, like, you would know about hydrocephalus if you followed my blog, which is everreview.xyz. But basically, there's a clot in my brain somewhere, and because of that clot, it doesn't allow the cerebral spinal fluid, or CSF, to drain from my brain. It's the stuff that, like, your brain kind of swims around in to keep it from, like, hitting stuff whenever you move your head. And if there's too much of that, if there's too much pressure, it will basically crush the brain and parts of it, like, from the inside, or like from the outside in, outside of the brain, inside of the head. So I had to get what's called a VP shunt. And I think that's a ventricular something. It's some long word that I haven't memorized yet. But I have that. And I've met very few people in my life that actually have that issue and have, like, the same kind of shunt. I remember there was this one really cool guy who had the same shunt as me when I was in high school. And he was a little worse off than me. He walked a little funny. But I was never going to tell him that. His name was Anthony. And he was the coolest guy I know. One of the coolest guys. And another weird random thing about me is that I am trans. I am basically everything pre the HRT and the surgeries and stuff. I don't know if I'm even going to get the surgeries. But I do know that I want to start HRT. It's just a process to get started. And, you know, I'm being pulled through the ringer by my father, who doesn't want it to happen. Yeah, I understand it. Doesn't make it easier, though. To him, I'm always just going to be his baby girl, I guess. I'm fine with being his baby forever. I just don't want to be a girl. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually trans enough to be considered trans. And then I think about how much I would hate to wear a dress and be girly and all that stuff, the stereotypical things that girls do, and I like doing more stereotypical things that boys do. And then someone in my family dead names me, and I almost cry, really. So that tells me, yeah, I am trans enough. Trans always have been, I guess, and trans will be forever. But yeah, that is FTM, or female to male for people who really need that spelled out for them. Because I'll bet you there's some. I know there's some. I really didn't plan anything out to say in this video. I honestly probably should have a little bit. You know, I graduated from high school in 2016. That was a year. That was the year that I went to Disney World with my choir. I'm never going to forget how in the middle of the song, a girl right in front of me who was in choir with me, the girl who stood right in front of me because I was on the top row in the middle section, her voice cracked so loud in the middle of one of the songs. It was so funny. I felt bad for her because that must have been embarrassing for her voice to just go and do that. But that's what happened. And that's how we just shall lived. Everything happens, and everything that happens, happens. But I'm not here to give you a lecture or anything like that. I'm just here to talk to you, to be in your ears, so to speak. Because sometimes that's what people need, and I want to be that thing that people need. I kind of dream of being big, either in vlogging or in making videos like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. I don't think I'll ever hit PewDiePie, but that's not a bad goal to achieve, especially since T-Series beat them out. Alright, I think he beat them. I actually don't know who won in that race, I think, but the point is I want to get big so that I can do good. I want to be able to have large charity live streams like they do all the time, and donate money to good causes like the Hydrocephalus Association. Hydrocephalus Awareness Association, I think is what it's called. What it's called. There was my voice. And trans-inclusive groups and stuff like that all around the U.S. I want to do good, and I want to be big so I can do good, but I struggle at getting bigger. I struggle with doing some basic things because I have these voices in my head that'll tell me that I'm never going to be good enough, that I suck, that I'm not worth it. But I have to realize the reality of that I am worth it, that I can do this, and you can too if you wanted. Like my friend Meowspad, they already got they almost hit 400 subscribers. Last I checked, it was 369 the last time I checked, and that's close enough. That's horseshoes and hand grenades right there. That's close enough to me to count about 400, and I have almost 500 people subscribed to my blog, actually. Actually, I think it's over 500. The last time I checked. That's halfway to 1,000. That's not a bad go for someone who just started doing it because they wanted to make reviews about everything that there was under the sun. I could do a video review right here of this one restaurant. Not a restaurant. It was a cafeteria type thing. It was a legit cafeteria called Melman's. It was I don't know much about it, except that it's a cafeteria local to West Virginia. And, well, it was pretty good. Like, it was better than I expected it to be. I liked the pie, and I'm not really a pie person. Closest thing you'll get me to a pie is pizza. But I liked their chocolate pie. I liked their fountain drinks. I liked their food. I got pierogies with mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. And it was super filling. I was so full by the end of it. Like, it was great. Really good place. If you have a Melman's cafeteria nearby in your state, go to it. They got good food there for a good price. And it's very like restaurant-like in the atmosphere. As in, like, you're sitting around in a restaurant with basically cafeteria food. But it's good cafeteria food. And you just kind of sit there with whoever and eat. And sometimes there's like a guy who comes in to play on the piano. It's really nice. And they have these like waitresses going around cleaning up the tables and asking if you need anything else. What sucks is they don't have free refills. They don't have refills on drinks except for tea and water. And coffee, I think. But I mean, I'm a tea person myself. I do like sodas a lot more than tea, and I drink it more. But I'll drink tea if there's nothing else. Yeah, but I really don't like drinking water. As you guys can probably tell, I'm a pretty big person. Like, sometimes even healthy water, like not, well, all water's healthy, but, well, not all water. All drinkable water is healthy. But I'm talking about, like, the flavored waters. I'm not really into those too much myself. My dad likes specific ones, and I like specific ones, but I don't want to never drink pop again. So I can't really commit to a diet that's like that. But, you know, I try to be healthier, stuff like that. Try to get out more and walk around. Like, I'm basically in the middle of a huge job hunt right now, trying to find some place that I can get to because I don't have a license, and even if I did, I don't have a car. And, you know, I have to find something on the bus line in case my dad or my aunt can't take me. And that's just a big suckish thing because I thought I was going to get this great job at Target. And it turns out I can't because that's too far. And then I just, like, it really sucked. I really hated that because I really wanted that job because that paid $13 an hour, which is more than I've ever been paid, and it was going to go up to $15 an hour at the end of 2020. So apply at your local Target store if you want some good money. That's coming soon. At least coming soon in the US. I really don't know what else to say here. I just, you know, I like talking to people and doing that sort of thing. I'm thinking about streaming Stardew Valley instead of recording it. Because I feel like I talk better off of someone else than just by myself. So maybe I could, like, start streaming it and maybe have people come in and talk to me. And I'll talk to them and everything, and I'll be able to pay attention because Stardew Valley is not that encompassing of a game where you have to pay attention to everything unless you're, like, mining or fishing or actually doing something. Like, just harvesting the crops doesn't take much concentration. But, of course, I like the mining and the fishing, as people who watched that episode of Stardew Valley has seen. But, yeah. I've been thinking about doing something like that, or, like, maybe even streaming Oxygen Not Included instead of just playing it. Because I feel like those are better streaming games. Rather than just trying to talk to myself, pretending I'm talking to another person, because you're a person, and I'm trying to talk to you. I just gotta get good at it. Another random weird thing about me, I like telling bad dad jokes and like cheesy pickup lines, like do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? Yeah. Sucks that like I either was always too nervous to say something like that, or I'm with someone, so I don't really have the need to say something flirtatious like that. But, you know, ever since I discovered polyamory, then that's kind of opened doors for me in that type of way, so that like I can brush up on those skills in case I ever decide that I like someone, because we agree together that as long as we know about it, it's not cheating. Like, we have to be open and honest with each other if we like someone else, and open and honest with each other if we don't like the other person anymore, which hasn't really happened. There was a bit of a break between me and one of my partners for a while, and then after getting back together, we kind of had to work to get that spark back. But I think it's pretty much coming back. I have feelings now that I didn't have before, because I was just so annoyed and like kind of afraid of what her, like, would she dump me again, and like I just try to like close myself into a door so that I wouldn't get hurt again. But love is an open door. Frozen said it best. And I think we're on the good track again. I'm not like currently thinking about marriage or anything like I was before we broke up, because I recognize now that there are steps that we have to take in order to ever get to that point, and a lot of them, and they're going to be very difficult steps. But, if we can do it, then we can do it. If we can't, then we can't. I know I want to get married someday, and maybe adopt kids, because I don't really want to have kids of my own. And if I adopt kids, I would want to sort of favor adopting the older kids, or people who aren't going to be adopted, like, typically, you know what I mean? Like, either sick young kids, or, like, older teenagers who don't ever get adopted, because all people want to adopt new babies and such like that to raise them and mold them as their child. I just want to make a difference in someone's life. And I have emotionally adopted this one kid that I met before, whose parents, like, they try to do what they think is best for her, but they ignore her needs in the process. Like, they ignore her need to hug people, and she was actually terrified of hugging people and even being touched at all before I came into her life, and showed her kindness and just kind of showed her it was okay to show her feelings and emotions, and she's allowed to cry and all this other stuff that her parents weren't teaching her because of whatever reason. I think every child should know that it's okay to be upset, and it's okay for everything to not be okay, and that it's okay to ask for hugs and get help, and even if you don't get help, then learning to help yourself. I just really want to help the world. And I have to figure out how to do it. Well, that should be enough of me just rambling here today. Let's see how much you guys liked it. Bye all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and I'll see you on my next internet exploration. Bye.